Okay, let's get started. To add a line item to the estimate, the first thing you do is click the Add Item button and then select Vinyl Signs. This brings up the Vinyl Signs pricing screen, which is where you will price the primary sign panel, which in this case is a double-sided 4x6 MDO sign on 3/4 inch MDO, painted dark green and lettered with gold metallic vinyl. This screen is designed to think just the way sign people do, in the same order and from the same approach. Just follow along and this will seem quite natural to you as we go. We will begin by selecting the 3/4 inch double-sided MDO from the list of substrates or surfaces signs are made on. Note that if the substrate we wanted to use was not in this list, we could always click on the book icon to the right to add it. Now we will hit the Tab key to move to the quantity field and enter a quantity of 1 sign. Pressing Tab again, we then enter 2 sides for this sign. In the next 2 fields we enter a height of 72 inches and a width of 48 inches for the 4-foot by 6-foot vertical sign we are pricing. Note the way the thumbnail sketch on the left changes to give us a visual representation of the sign we are working on. This is why we refer to EstiMate's pricing system as visual sign pricing. Once this is done, we click on the Painted Vinyl Treated checkbox and enter the number of coats of paint we are putting on the background of this sign. In this case, we will increase the default value of 2 to 3 because we will put on a coat of primer and 2 coats of finish paint. Note that when we checked the Painted Vinyl Treated checkbox, the thumbnail sketch changed color to indicate that we are working on a painted sign. We will not check the non-rectangular Must Be Shaped checkbox because this sign is a rectangle and does not need to be shaped with a scroll saw. The overall background complexity slider is available for you to indicate, in a subjective manner, how difficult the painting and shaping of this board is in your shop. The range and character of this slider can be configured in the Deep Configuration section of the program, which is explained in detail in a different section of this presentation. For the meantime, we will leave this slider at 15%, which is the default. Note, however, that if we do move the slider, it results in the production time changing. The production time is represented in minutes and seconds. This allows you to exactly judge the time that is required to do this task, and it provides a more tangible backup to the subjective nature of the slider. You will find that EstiMate allows you to price both subjectively and tangibly via this method. Now we will set this slider back to 15%, the default. The next step is to select the type of vinyl we are using on this sign. One common misconception is that these boxes represent colors of vinyl, when in fact they represent types of vinyl, such as intermediate, high performance, or metallic vinyl. In this case, we will select 7-year metallic vinyl for use on our sign. After selecting the type of vinyl, you will see a slider appear allowing you to specify the surface area of this sign that we are covering with metallic vinyl. Note that the thumbnail sketch shows an indication of what we are doing here. In the case of this sign, let's assume the customer has told us they want a border on the sign, so we will set this coverage to 90%, which is very close to the edges and will cover our materials and our waste on this job. Note that EstiMate is automatically taking into account the fact that this sign is double-sided, as well as the fact that this will require transfer tape, which is automatically figured into both the materials price and the labor time. The box at the bottom of the screen is where you enter copy and colors, or in other words, the information the customer wants on the sign, as well as an indication of the colors to use.